Promoting a healthy environment. It's the air we breathe. Clean, safe water. Responsible management of our natural resources to protect and restore for a sustainable future. Environment matters.
With solar, once it's installed, it's there. And once it's paid for, then it's just making you money.
Harnessing the power of the sun. DEP Headquarters in Charleston is going solar. A newly installed solar array will help provide power and hot water to the facility for years to come. Plus, some students in Fayette County will be breathing a little easier this fall, thanks to some new clean diesel school buses. Hello everyone, and welcome to Environment Matters. I'm Greg Adolphson with the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection. I'll be filling in for Kathy for the next few episodes. It's an unlimited source of clean energy that is free for the taking. We're talking about the sun, and this month, our headquarters here in Charleston became the first state agency in West Virginia to take advantage of it. Work began in early July as crews used a crane to hoist the parts for the 25 kilowatt solar array up on the roof. Based on current usage, the 2,700 square foot array will provide nearly 15% of the building's power needs. 4 flat plate collectors will use the sun to heat water that's stored in 2 120-gallon tanks to help provide hot water to the building as well.
We've got 108 panels. We're using 3 inverters, which tie into a 3-phase system here.
The panels produce direct current, DC power. The inverters convert that to alternating current, AC power, which can be used for anything from lights to computers to air conditioning. And it's clean power.
We're not putting out any emissions. We're not harming the environment any. And we're also creating a power production source that doesn't really have, once it's up and running, there's no continuous sort of overhead. With solar, once it's installed, it's there. And once it's paid for, then it's just making you money.
Solar power still has a relatively high initial cost, but thanks to advances in design and technology as well as tax incentives to help offset the cost, installers say a typical home system can pay for itself in as little as 5 to 6 years, which is just a fraction of the system's useful lifespan.
The panels themselves are guaranteed to be making 80% of what they're making right now in 25 years, and that's a linear guarantee. So, and after that, they'll still be producing energy, just not quite as much. Within 30 years, you're still going to be making, electricity on your roof.
The project here at DEP is designed to be a model and a demonstration of the feasibility of solar power for other state agencies to follow. Promoting a healthy environment is the mission of the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection, and by taking advantage of clean, renewable solar energy, we're doing just that. Planning for the project actually began back in 2010. The project is funded through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act and the United States Department of Energy. Once the system becomes fully operational, it will include several interactive features that will allow visitors to monitor the energy the system is producing in real time. Summer usually means a break from school for our students and teachers alike, but as the DEP's Tom Alloys recently found out, for one group of teachers, time spent in a special outdoor classroom could lead to some new approaches for reaching students this fall.
The story is going to be on page 119.
This is not your typical classroom.
The Mystery of Sandy Bottom Creek.
But these are not your typical students. They're a group of 7th and 8th grade science and social studies teachers getting some hands-on work at the Ward Hollow Wildlife Habitat. Ward Hollow is a 10-acre wooded and grassy wetland located near the rear of the Dow Technology Park in Kanawha County.
It's a totally different way of learning, and a lot of kids that will not respond to regular or traditional means as far as books and read the chapter and answer the questions, they will respond to something like this in a heartbeat, and it makes it much more relevant to them.
And that learning can have a big impact down the road. But it's about more than just a future career choice.
If they learn that what they do today is going to have an impact on future generations, they might decide to really think about how they're using the world around them, maybe in a more positive way.
Those students will get a chance to experience the ecology of Ward Hollow firsthand this fall. Dow makes the area available to educational groups by appointment. It's something Dow's Marion Schul says inspires some pretty creative learning.
Some of them have made videos. They brought still cameras and then video cameras out here and made little commercials about why you want to have a wetland, why you want to protect it. Some of them have done scavenger hunts, looking to see what different kinds of plants and animals they could find out in the area. Some of them have done water sampling, soil sampling. We have a microscope, a digital microscope that hooks up to a computer. So they can bring those tools out here and kind of relate it to what they've learned in the classroom.
And for a lot of those kids, that's an eye-opening experience.
And that's what we're hoping for. What we saw last year when we brought students out here is that a lot of them had never experienced anything like this. They had no idea that something like this existed in their backyard. So it was nice to be able to bring them out, let them see something that they don't normally see, and see how we've used something that they didn't even know was here to benefit them.
A benefit these teachers hope leads their students to a better understanding of the world around them. In South Charleston, I'm Tom Alloys for Environment Matters.
The Ward Hollow Wildlife Habitat was dedicated in 2009. Some students in Fayette County will be breathing a little easier this fall, thanks to 4 new clean diesel technology school buses that replace 4 older, less efficient buses. As the DEP's Mike Huff found out, cleaner air for students is just one benefit of the program.
The first thing you notice is the smell, or more correctly, the lack of one, coming from the tailpipes of these new buses.
We're getting reductions of particulate matter, hydrocarbons, NOx emissions there. So they're cleaner.
Renu Chakrabarty works in the DEP's Division of Air Quality. She says money for the project comes from the U.S. EPA's National Clean Diesel Campaign, which supports projects aimed at reducing diesel exhaust.
When we got this latest influx of funding, started looking around for sources, and we found out Fayette County was interested. And so we started talking from there.
The program works like this. Schools provide matching funds up front to purchase the new buses. As for the old buses, they're taken off the road forever.
You can't just sell them at auction and where they go out someplace and get used for another couple decades. Instead, what we have them do is they completely have to demolish those buses.
And demolish they did. Fayette County chose to scrap 4 11-year-old buses.
They only asked for drill a hole in the engine. Well, they crushed the engine, and they actually cut the whole body up and shipped it through a shredder. So that was great to watch it happen.
But the county didn't come away empty-handed.
The impact wasn't horrible on us because we received recycling money for those materials, which generated about half of what those buses would have sold if we would have sold them in auction and continue to pollute the environment. So it wasn't a negative impact. Normally after we deal with our buses, we're getting anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 as we sell them in auction. We were able to get we got $2,000 a bus to scrap them. And in kind enough, we were able to keep tires and things that didn't have any environmental impact. So really we recovered a lot more than that.
Gary Hogue says the grant allowed the school system to nearly double the number of buses purchased this year, a significant bonus. But it's more than just that.
To send a message to our children that we're being environmentally friendly, and I think as teachers and as educators in our school system, we've got to be good examples to the children. Not only do we need to teach them, but we have to demonstrate on a day-to-day basis that we're being environmentally friendly.
Fayette County has 95 school buses in its fleet, 75 assigned to regular runs. Last year, Fayette County buses traveled roughly 1.3 million miles. In Fayetteville, I'm Mike Huff for Environment Matters.
Last year, a similar grant helped Greenbrier County replace 5 school buses. You've heard the expression cooking with gas? Well, there may be a time in the not too distant future where West Virginia state vehicles will be driving with gas. West Virginia natural gas, that is. Last month, Governor Earl Ray Tomblin signed an executive order establishing the Natural Gas Vehicle Task Force. The task force will study the potential cost savings of converting gasoline or diesel-fueled state vehicles to natural gas and look into what would take to develop the infrastructure to support a network of compressed gas fueling stations. In a release from the governor's office, Governor Tomblin said, "With our state being one of the leading producers of natural gas in the nation, it is important for us to explore the feasibility of using this resource to fuel our state's transportation needs. In addition to expanding the market for natural gas, we would lessen our dependence on foreign oil, save taxpayer money, and create new jobs. Vehicles that run on natural gas produce less air pollution than conventional vehicles. Conversion costs vary from vehicle to vehicle. Right now, natural gas is significantly cheaper than either gasoline or diesel fuel. Coming up, one community looks to sustainability to improve its quality of life while helping to revitalize its struggling economy. But first, did you know that leaving your car at home just twice a week can cut greenhouse gas emissions by 1,600 pounds a year? Take a few minutes once a week to make a list of all the errands that need to get done and see if you can batch them into one trip. If you commute to work, ask if you can work from home at least some days. You'll help reduce air pollution and traffic congestion and save time and money. We're back in a moment.